All right, shalom, shalom. It's another GMS lesson coming back at you. Before I do get into this lesson, I want to give our honor, our glory, and our praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Next up, double honor to my apostles, elders of Great Millstone, who taught me the 100% truth of the Bible and who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to all the brothers across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in all diligence and sincerity. Just jump right into a Lord willing edifying lesson, you know, on perilous times, man. The times that are ahead of us, well, the times that are actually upon us, right? The beginning stages, right, are very perilous, are very dangerous times, man, that we're heading into. We're just gonna bring it out, man. Start the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. It reads, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Right? This is the Lord speaking. He's saying, Speak the words of prophecy into the ears of his people, man. Who are his people? You so called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, man. Right? You are the chosen people of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, who the word ignorantly calls God, whose name in the Lashawan Kodash, the holy Hebrew tongue, means he exists. Man, you know, and along with you Israelite foreigners, Israelites whose seed lines goes back to the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but look like these heathen nations due to Israel being scattered abroad, man. So we're only out there for the elect of Israel, the 144,000 men, who are out there giving up their bodies as a living sacrifice, along with the men, women, and children who sincerely believe, man. So let's read on. It says, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, right? So starting off, the men of the Lord, starting off with the apostle elders of Great Millstone, right? Out preaching on the highways and byways, at home making videos, daily exhorting, right? Daily pushing videos to do what? To speak the words of prophecy. Anybody that's claiming to come through the Spirit of how about Shem Yahweh Shai, claiming they're coming in the name of Yahweh Shai, they're going to be speaking the words of prophecy, man. Revelations 19 and 10, right? The Spirit of the Lord was a spirit of prophecy, man. Roughly paraphrasing. So let me just jump right on down. Verse 5. I'm going to start at 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, right? I wanted to get that because it doesn't matter if anybody believes what we're saying. It doesn't matter if they take heed to it. It doesn't matter if they don't believe what they're saying, if they think we're crazy, And ultimately, it doesn't matter if they take heed to it because the Lord, if you don't take heed to it, that's just basically the Lord saying He doesn't want you, right? Because the Lord is in control of all things. Now, our job is to go out there, do what the Lord told us to do, and He's going to do the rest. Now, we can't make anybody believe this thing, man. You know, just read on, verse 5, right? So, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, and that's what's coming real soon. The Lord is bringing plagues to this place, to this world, chiefly here in America, which is Babylon the Great, right? Which is also spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. Let's read on. I will bring plagues upon the world, the famine, the sword, right? The sword represents death and destruction, any killing instrument. The modern day sword is what? The gun, you know? That's what's primarily used to put somebody to death, somebody, using the gun. It reads on famine. That word famine, it means a lack of something, a shortage, right? And we're seeing, you know, a famine, food and thirst. You got chicken shortages. You got trucker strikes. If the truckers stop trucking, what food can't get to these stores, right? We've seen that with previous hurricanes and COVID and stuff like that. You know, people when there's a panic, man, and people buying up stuff faster than the trucks can get there, then what? It causes uproar, it causes mayhem, it causes chaos. And, that's what the Lord is bringing. That's a plague that the Lord is bringing. It reads on death and destruction, man. Shoot, just off the first two plagues that I read alone, bring you death and destruction, man. So on top of those two plagues, the Lord is gonna amplify that even more death, more destruction, man. You know. So let's read verse 6. Let's get why. It reads, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth." Though the wicked, right, that the Bible speaks of is the so-called white man, right? Wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth, right? Because pursuant to Job chapter 9, verse 21, 24, if I'm not mistaken, the world was given into the hands of the wicked. So if the wicked is ruling, then what? All the things that will be going on, all the rules or the laws or the regulations are going to be what? Made in wickedness, man. And now these other nations, right, are following after the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So what? The whole world, right, is polluted in wickedness, man. You know? It reads on, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Thus saith the Lord, man. So thus saith the Lord, man. He's saying that he's going to bring these plagues because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. This earth is ran contrary, and contrary to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, which is righteousness. Man. You know. Let's get some more. Let me get the book of Well, I'm gonna stick right here. Second Ezra chapter 15. I'm gonna start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Right. So woe. The word woe goes into death and destruction. Death and destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. And we know that what? That's talking about 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? Along with the heathens, chiefly the so-called white man Esau, Edom, because they're dwelling in the world. We know the 1/3 remnant, the 144,000 men, right, who prophesy and give their bodies as a living sacrifice, along with the men, women, and children who sincerely believe, which makes up the 1/3 remnant of the nation of Israel. We know that they don't. We don't. We're Lord willing, we be a part of that number. They're in the world, right? But they're not. They're not spiritually a part of this world, man. They've already spiritually checked out of this place, man. They're doing whatever they need to do to please Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. So death and destruction to everybody else. Verse 15, for the sword, right? And their destruction draweth nigh. We went over what the sword is, right? Death and destruction, right? And the sword is also the so-called white man, the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side. So everything that, the so-called white man brings to the table, martial law, he's in control of the whole world. His weaponry, right? He was blessed with the sword, right? His military might. So all those things, the devil's going to come down with great wrath on you Jakes and his own people and the rest of the heathens, man. It reads, draweth nigh, so it's coming, right? And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? Swords mean what? Any killing instrument, anything one person can get to get the edge on another person, that's what they're going to be using, man. Whatever they can get their hands on, man. One person is going to stand up against another, man. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men. That word sedition goes into, inciting, people to do what? To go against the government, man. Right? And we can see that now. There's upwards of the people everywhere. People protesting against the government, right? People not happy with how their cities, towns, states, countries are being ran, man. So they're going up and saying something about it, right? And eventually they're going to be doing more than just talking. Let's jump to verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So the course of their actions, what they're going to be able to do is going to stand in their power. Think to the Walking Dead, right? You got people who were straggling alone by themselves. They can't do much, right? Getting killed, getting whacked off. Then you got people like Negan, right? Who had thousands of people, had a community, had cars, had fuel, had weapons. The course of these people's power, they're going to be evading each other, doing whatever it is they want to do according to, their situation, man. If you ain't clicked up with a certain amount of people, it's going to be rough for you. If you ain't a part of the elect, and the end all be all for you is death and destruction anyway. You know. So let's also jump to verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Martial law, right? Verse 18, for because their pride, the city shall be troubled, right? This place, America, is a big city, man, right? And what? And the pride, this is the most prideful country, the most prideful nation on the face of the earth because it's ran by the most proudest people on the face of the earth, man. The wicked. It reads on, and for that pride, this place will be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And if the men gonna be afraid, how much more for the women, man? Because the times that we're coming in is not a time that is, gonna be, it's not gonna be a good time to be a woman in that thing, man, unless you're with a man in the Lord, man. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. People are going to be taking whatever they need, whatever they want, whatever they can use to provide for their people, their family, whoever it is they care about. And that neighbor that you've been living beside for 20 plus years, he been beside your mama house since she was a kid. He ain't gonna give a damn about you or your mama or your family or your kids or what you got going on. He looking out for himself. It reads on, because of the lack of bread, famine, right? And for great tribulation. So that's a cut to anybody talking about ain't gonna be no tribulation, ain't gonna be no hard times. That it's just gonna be an easy walk into the kingdom of heaven. Of course, the elect are gonna be protected, but what we're gonna have to survive through this. We're gonna have to get through this, man. We got to keep our faith in the Lord. And now while the times are not as bad as they're gonna get, we have to prepare our minds spiritually, man. You know, for the times that are ahead. And I just wanted to get a quick, lesson in and get straight to the point. So with that, I'm going to close it out, giving our honor, our glory, and praise to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rekai HaKodash. Next up, the honor to my apostle, Elders Great Millstone, taught me the 100% truth of the Bible, and rule well. Peace, love, salutation, all the brothers, across the four corners of the earth, person is truth, no diligence and sincerity. So next time I say, Shalom.